Course gurus, we know about y'all. You only make money off of the core. You don't make money off of what you actually teach. We're aware of y'all.
Oh my God. I had to hide the face.
They're going to be mad about that one. It's okay.
No,
I love
it's
all
really-
the smoke.
Hi, Carel. How are you?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing well. So I'm so excited for today because this is the second episode of Room Full of Bosses. We did our first. This is actually a big accomplishment because, thank you. Because I really was excited to really talk about like this topic in particular with you. I know we spoke about it before, but I know this is something that we really need to touch on.
Definitely.
So firstly, I just want you to explain who you are, what you do. So let's get everyone,
I bet no
season
problem.
on it.
Of course. My name is Carell Mukongo. Some of you may know me as My Jiggy. I'm a options trader, stock market investor, and crypto investor as well. And I also teach people financial literacy.
Yes, I love that. So I want to ask you a question. What got you, interested in like stocks and trading and investing? Like what was it for you?
Believe it or not, in high school, one of our classes had a mock stock market class. So I'd come last every single class, and it irritated me. And that was my senior year of high school. So going into college, I just dedicated myself into learning it. So my dad would give me like $200 on my birthdays, and I usually buy Jordans with it. But this time around, I was still irritated about coming in last in my senior class in high school. So I'm like, I'm just learn this. So I taught myself through books and YouTube, and I eventually used that $200 to make my first investments in the stock market.
I love that. I noticed that YouTube is really a platform you can utilize to learn more. I feel like it's more of a self-education tool. And I think that's amazing. And I also feel like a lot of people, they have these ways of looking at investing like, oh, I'm scared to do it, or oh, crypto and, stocks. When you think of that, it seems kind of like a little discouraging in that way.
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel like a person can maybe start it up and actually be successful within it,
So I think the hardest part, to be honest, is starting up. There's a notion that, you need a crazy amount of money. That's false. There's a notion you need like a substantial amount of time during your day. That's also false. There's very conservative ways to invest too. So I think the more information that's given out, it will deteriorate some of the fear people have towards it.
Nice. And I also believe that I just believe that people, I think that they also make themselves fearful of things because
Definitely.
when you want to be a new person and when you want to step into that wealth of like, okay, my mind has changed, I'm in a new season, you're not going to let nothing stop you.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I think that it's become so overly saturated that people are like, okay, I'm scared to do it.
They can't tell who's really doing it correctly, who's not, the frauds and the real ones. Yeah, so
that's why I always say like it's good to kind of like tap into like people who are genuine. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that a lot of people go into investing in like business. Like business is a very, very, very particular thing.
Yeah.
You have to know the most important things you have to know in life: who you're doing business with, who you're investing with. Those are important.
Yeah,
so
especially their characters too.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that's maybe the main issue. But I also wanted to say, right, all right, so say if I wanted to get into investing, like, and I was just a regular person, you know, how would I go about that? Because I really I feel like a lot of people don't get into stocks and crypto all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like we know about it, we hear about it. Like when I think of crypto, like not now, I know it's official, especially investing into stocks.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's so official. You just have to know what you're doing. But I do believe now, I feel like a lot of people, if I was a regular person back in the day, they think that it's just like something that they can't really make any money off of. It's like a casino.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
So first things first, definitely don't view it like a casino. That's for sure. Investing and gambling are two completely different entities for sure.
Absolutely.
Secondly, and that's a question I get a lot too, like if I want to start investing, what should I invest in or how do I go about it? This is what I always say. Open up your bank app, look at all your transactions. Have you used Uber? If yes, you can invest in the stock market. Have you been to Sephora, any makeup brands?
Hold on. You can invest
Absolutely.
that into stock market? I
Mhm.
never knew that.
All that. Louis Vuitton, all the designer, food you eat, transportation you use, all of that's on the stock market. So
And you know what's crazy? A lot of people don't understand that this is really the norm of our
consumerism.
culture and consumerism, like
Consumerism.
especially within this generation. We
Absolutely.
spend but we never receive.
Exactly.
So, all right, like how will we go about that? So you said open your bank app.
And just look at all your transactions, and you could pinpoint what parent companies these companies fall under: Uber, Sephora, Louis Vuitton, whatever the case may be. And then you invest in those stocks. So instead of just giving the company money, why not the company give you money? So all of
Okay.
us have Apple products. There's even a trend on TikTok called the Apple ecosystem, where people are showing their iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, or the Apple products, but no one shows how much money Apple has paid them. Because I could show $15,000 Apple has paid me last year.
What? Oh my gosh. So you know Sephora. Babe, I'm gonna need that check.
Exactly.
I be in Sephora, okay? Nah, but I'm really, really happy that we're opening the light to that and we're actually exposing that, because a lot of people need to know about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think once you change your mind from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset, you'll see how much you can actually invest into things.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Another thing I wanted to ask you, right? How do you feel like social media has impacted this fear of investing into stocks and you know, just crypto in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think social media
That's a major topic, by
It
the
is a
way.
major topic.
Yeah.
I think like social media has amplified certain traits. Like a lot of my clients, they after having a conversation with me, they're surprised. They're like, I thought I had to have 3 monitors on my desk and time all day. I'm like, no, that's not the case. So I think that's just what people show on social media, because they want to show the glitz and the glamour and someone turning $200 into 20,000 a day. That's not like the norm, though. Those are very extreme scenarios that people just tend to focus on. Some of the best investors invest in boring companies and they just make money over time. So social media can do good, but it can do harm. It just depends on who you're deciding to focus on.
I also meant like just social media in general, like you know how like we have maybe for example like influencers and
Ah, yes.
stuff like that. Like I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call them scam artists, but I will say like I tapped into this in the first episode. I noticed that a lot of these gurus, like especially when they're not official, like they tap into these things and it makes people feel like, okay, I spent this money but I haven't received anything back. And I think the main topic or the goal is like, okay, I want to put this in there and make this right away, but it's like investing is something that gradually happens over time. That's like you're investing into your generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? So people need to understand that. So that's what I meant when I said social media.
Yeah, that's tricky. I think we're living in a time period of what I like to call them course gurus. So people that focus on making courses and teaching platforms that focus more on making money from those courses than what they're actually teaching you. So we're living in wild times, that's for sure. So I would just say, like, when you are following these people on social media, you want to focus on the ones that are preaching what they teach. For example, there's a lot of people that don't post results. There's a lot of people that it's just all about performative. They might rent an Airbnb or rent a car to draw that attention to you. You should focus on the ones that are just focusing on what they're teaching.
Right.
That's how you go about it. Yeah.
I agree.
So the same way you have a responsibility with people you interact with in real life, you also have a responsibility with the people you follow on social media, because that's important too.
Right. I highly agree. And I think that's why I always say, like, I like to just watch who I follow and watch what I do. And I think this is why I started Room Full of Bosses, because I wanted people to learn efficiently from people who are actually like, they've done it.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And like they talk that talk and they walk the walk. So
absolutely, that's important.
I definitely do believe like in this time, in this day and age, it's important to definitely know that. So I agree with you. And I just wanted to say it's crazy because remember when we met at the brunch?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's crazy. I didn't even know you did like investing in stocks and crypto. How long have you been doing it again?
Since 2017.
Oh, so you've been doing it for a minute.
Almost a decade. I'm a veteran, not no rookie.
That's what I'm saying. This is
And
why
I was doing it before it was trendy, by the way. I need some credit on that. I was doing it before it was trendy. Yeah.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I think people think, oh, I just hopped on the wave. And no. Yeah. You've been doing this.
Been doing it. Not new to this, true to this.
That's crazy. Yeah. I love that. I love that. I love that. So do you feel like it's definitely a long-term thing?
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be a long-term thing. When you look at the landscape of society, inflation, this presidential administration, the cost of living, groceries, rent, everything is going up, but your checks from your job is not moving up in correlation with that. So best way to leverage that is having financial vehicles, stock market investing, real estate, a legitimate business, even just high yield saving accounts. So investing definitely is a long-term thing. I don't think, it should just be looked at as a hobby or a one-time thing. Why not? Who wouldn't want an extra source of income for the rest of their life?
That's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I would. Shoot. And I would, and I have, and I will.
Exactly.
But yeah, and I also do believe like now, even back to the social media conversation, a lot of people, it's like, okay, you know what bothers me?
What?
I feel like what bothers me in this day and age right now is like people don't have their own minds. And I don't want to speak too negatively within our society, but I just feel like, okay, when one person says something, right?
Yeah.
Then another person feel like, okay, this is not right. I have to jump on the bandwagon of what this person says. And I just believe, like, have your own mind and try it for yourself. Because everything I learned, when it comes to business, when it comes to investing, when it comes to when it comes to building my own businesses, I learned on my own. You understand what I'm saying? So before, like, I understand wanting a Google to do things for you, but when you really are passionate about something, you just learn and you take your time to really invest your time to learn about it and have a mentor at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because people think, okay, I have a mentor. But no, learn. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that.
I think the mentors are there so you can skip a few steps, like not learn off of their mistakes. Because even with me, I'll teach my clients substantial amount of information, but I always tell them, still do your own research. Don't view me on a pedestal. I'm human too. I can definitely make mistakes, but still do your own research. So even when you're looking for a mentor, look for the one that encourage you to learn. Don't look for the one that make you lenient on them, because if you're lenient on them, you're giving them all the power.
I agree. I definitely agree. You know what else I wanted to talk about? Like, I wanted to really like tap into like just like the whole TikTok ban, like, and then like especially like within social media overall, like how things are flowing. Like, can you imagine how things would have been if they banned TikTok?
Yeah, I think everybody would still be on Red Note, the Chinese app.
Yeah, I definitely do think that like that was like a big shift.
Yeah, I think the government learned like, okay, they really will go to another Chinese app.
Yo, and then you know what's crazy? But my opinion, I do believe even if that happened, they still would have opened up another. It would have been, remember, history always repeats itself.
Yeah.
Think of MySpace. When we had MySpace, cool. Let's say AIM. Remember AIM? We had AIM. We had MySpace. Everything is going to keep repeating itself. Then we had Facebook. We had this. We had Instagram. So everything's going to come behind it. So TikTok was just here. You think, somebody not going to make a new app?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's maybe more complex than that. And it's probably going to be American owned. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe it would have changed the dynamic of how business worked.
Yeah.
Because a lot of big businesses were going into that, or small businesses, they were utilizing that as a way of learning, or like maybe just like selling. So I think that
TikTok generated a substantial amount of money, and even with live shopping, I don't know if you ever swipe over and you'll see people selling stuff live.
They sell live stuff on there.
Yeah, live, like people will go live and show products they're selling. There's like TikTok shop portion of it.
I didn't know that.
So it's a big business. They're not gonna just let it go away.
Oh, you mean like the TikTok shop when they show you little things? Because I'm not gonna lie, I bought a few things off there. Like,
yeah, it gets people. Yeah, because you're seeing the video already. So
but some things are really good on there. But
absolutely,
it was pretty decent. But I will say, yeah, I definitely do agree with you. That's true.
Because oftentimes we want to see photos and video reviews, but you're on that platform, you're already seeing the video review immediately. Yeah. So now you're more tempted to shop there.
Do you think TikTok impacted you in any kind of way? Like,
yeah, so when it first came out during the pandemic, I stayed away from it. I'm like, I don't want to be on an app. People just dancing all day. But once I seen how powerful, the platform is, because like look how fast information travels.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. Well, maybe now they can ban it because it's American owned now. Half of it is American owned, but
Oh, really?
they brought it back for a reason.
Oh, see,
I think
America.
51% of it is owned by the U.S. now.
America.
And certain topics, I'm not going to say it on this platform, but certain topics you can't view it on TikTok no more.
America is not slick.
Yeah, we're living in the
America is not slick. Because how did it come back? And then all of a sudden now it's
they
American
just needed
owned.
it owned by an American entity. They didn't want that information going directly to China. Because if you notice, we're living in the info era. So all these platforms are fighting for our data and info.
That's true.
The same way you talk about, I don't know, a pink iPad, or you'll see mad ads about a pink iPad on the internet.
That's the scary part.
At the time we're living in.
That is scary too.
So everything you're searching on TikTok, they're sending it out to massive corporations.
And then you know what else I heard about that? I heard that also, like, you have to also be careful because when you sign up for certain sites and stuff, it's like they steal your information.
Absolutely. But that's every site.
It.
Yeah, they sell it.
Yeah.
That's the time we're living in. That's every site. I don't think nobody really takes the time to read those little writing. And everybody wants to use the platform anyway. Even during when TikTok was banned, everybody was going to Red Note. They're like, yeah, I don't care if the Chinese people take
What was Red Note again?
So it was the Chinese version of TikTok.
Wait, but I thought TikTok was Chinese already.
Chinese, but they have other platforms like that in China. So Red Note was like a big one, and it was
Oh, but it was in China specifically.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And then a flood of Americans started using it, so Chinese people and American people started interacting. They were surprised. They're like, "You guys pay for everything, like health insurance. Y'all pay for an ambulance." Like they were just baffled.
Yeah.
And people started noticing, like, "Yo, nothing's wrong with Chinese people. They're actually pretty nice to us." So there's propaganda.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I highly agree with that. Definitely. But I just believe like now in this day and age, we just got to do what works for us. Because at this point, what works for me is I like Instagram. I think Instagram works for me. I like Twitter.
Right.
I also like using like the SEOs if I have like within my personal business, marketing, So if TikTok works for you, it works for you. But I'm not going to lie, I never really utilized TikTok to the full of my extent.
I think you should.
I'm going to try it out.
I think you should. You'll like
I think this time around, moving forward, I'm going to try.
Absolutely.
Because I want to maybe build this, I want to build this next brand that I'm doing, to the fullest.
Right.
And I know it can be, substantially big.
Yeah. TikTok is the fastest app, so you might
and now that they didn't ban it,
Mm-hmm.
we're good. Well, they didn't ban it.
And I think it was important, too, for all content creators to realize that maybe you shouldn't have everything on one platform. Diversification is important.
And that's what I think was the big eye-opener for a lot of people. Because imagine if you relied mostly on TikTok for everything.
Absolutely.
And you didn't have any...
If that was a big source of income, it would just vanish like that. So.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I really just want to really tap into, just the finance of stocks and crypto.
Right.
So what is the finance looking like? Like when it comes to investing, how much do I have to put up to invest?
I always tell people you should put up money you're comfortable going to zero. That amount's different for each person. Might be 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000, whatever the case may be. But put up money you're comfortable losing. And the reason I say that is because when people start investing, your number one priority should be to detach yourself emotionally from money.
Okay.
That's a very important thing. Because from there, you'll be thinking more rationally. Because you don't want to think off emotions when it comes to investing. You want to think just off of, fundamentals, technicals, and logical aspects of how and where your money should go.
Okay. And is that something that maybe a lot of people wouldn't know? Like, say, for example, if I was just a regular person, I don't know how much I want to put up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I know that I want to make a substantial amount of money.
Right.
So would I take my time to maybe say, okay, I'm going to invest 100 here and maybe 200 there and then see how it works for me and see how I'm doing? I just want to know, how does this work exactly?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with just same way you're about to go in the pool, you'll put your feet in to see how cold it is. There's nothing wrong with doing that investing too. Believe it or not, you can buy portions of a stock. You don't have to buy an entire stock.
Oh, you can buy portions.
That's another thing people don't know. So Apple stock, I don't know, is around $230 right now, so around something like that. You could just put in $20 towards Apple stock.
Do you use a specific platform?
So for new investors, I do recommend Robinhood because that platform
I used that before.
That platform is like the display of it is more geared like a social media platform, so it's easier on the eyes.
What about Coinbase? You ever heard of that?
Yeah, so Coinbase, that's strictly for cryptocurrency.
Oh, cryptocurrency. Yeah, because I tried Coinbase. I even had the card.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mess.
Yeah.
I had the card and all. Tried to invest. I think I put like $500 into there. Lost all my money. I was so sad. But I don't think I didn't understand.
Right.
Excuse me. I didn't understand the purpose of
Cryptocurrency.
And what to do. So when I invested into that, I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. So imagine me just investing into any stock I see because I know it or the name.
Yeah, the most important thing is doing the
substance.
research. Exactly. Yeah, doing the research, understanding why it's a good investment and the outlook of this potential investment and what it can do for you. So definitely the research is important too.
Yeah.
Just as important as the money.
Research?
Absolutely. I did a ridiculous amount of research and I still do research to this day.
That's good.
So I definitely put in my 10,000 hours into it.
So, okay. I don't know if this is a little bit TMI. But what is the most amount you made off of investing?
Over 100,000.
Really? Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
I can't make this up. This is who I'm bringing.
And I post my results on my Instagram.
This is who I'm bringing. And I'm going to have his Instagram listed on the beginning. So y'all better follow.
Not just talk. You can check the stats.
We going to check the stats.
Yeah.
But no, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. And see, this is why I say it hits harder coming from a black man because this is something that when you say that, that's like a bomb drop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's really fire. And I think if a lot of like people from our community, if they would be a little bit more like less fearful to get into this and really step into it, it can really open up the generational wealth. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Because even if it's just like if you're just making an extra $500 a month from the stock market, that's $500 that goes towards groceries, gas, bills, subscription, whatever the case may be. So it's not even about like, oh, I need the stock market to get me rich. It's just about giving you more elbow room. Like once your paycheck comes, are you living paycheck to paycheck or do you have some breathing room? I think that's where investments can really help.
Yeah, because I also say like when it comes to just families or whoever, like people, me as a normal person, I want to build up that generational wealth. I want to be, substantially and financially free, but it's just like, okay, I can't let this hold me back. Like that fear of like not knowing, if I invest, invest. It's always the best thing. Do you also do any investments with real estate or anything like that, or you just do strictly crypto?
No, I do. Stocks? So I do crypto stocks. I do have 2 acres of land back at home in Congo.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, Congo is
in Africa.
Africa. That's what part?
Central Africa.
Oh, nice. Okay. Like how was that process? Was it easy?
I think it's more easy than the U.S. Cause I feel like outside of the U.S. you actually own the land. Like if you don't pay property taxes, people in suits are not just gonna pull up and like take ownership and give it to the bank. So I think it's way easier than the U.S. But as far as U.S. real estate, I haven't got into it yet. I will down the line, but I know the entry point is a little bit more expensive up front.
Okay. I noticed that, and especially like down to. Did you hear about like the tax lions?
The what?
It's something called tax lions. Like basically, like I heard that in the U.S. when I was tapping into what you just said, like when you own a property and you don't pay the taxes, like I can go as a regular consumer, regular person, and I can go and I think if I'm not mistaken, I can go and bid for it.
Yeah, that's true though.
And you pay the taxes back to me, and that's crazy. So America is definitely a different type of place when it comes to owning and renting.
It definitely is, but that shouldn't discourage you though. Because I think once again, a house. You can leverage that. That can be a source of income. You can buy a duplex, maybe rent out one side to a family and use that income for yourself. So anything that's making you money, you should be focused on, especially for these next 4 years with this current sitting president.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself like in 4 years from now?
In 4 years, I think right now the most important thing is I know I can make money by myself. I think I want to continue to help other people make money too. I've noticed like a lot of people, they're always grateful and really happy once they start seeing that the stock market does work. So that leads me to think there's more people that would love that experience if they were just exposed to it. So that my focus is just putting out more content. And I had a period of time where like I was really cool off of social media. Like I didn't want to. You could ask her too. Like I didn't want to post nothing no more. I'm like, yo, people don't really care. They do care. You just never know who's watching. Like I've had people DM me like I've been watching for 3 years trying to see if you're legit, and they finally book a consultation. So content is king.
This is why I say like never be scared to put the content out.
Yeah, you got to put the content out, even if you don't feel like it. Maybe
content is king.
Even if like you feel like you're not in the mood for it, maybe just spend a whole day recording, you break them up, and then put them out over time.
Yeah.
But content is definitely king for sure.
And you never know who's watching you.
You
I
never
heard
know.
that from somebody that's like somebody of substance. And the fact that you're saying it, I know is confirmation.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that is really a real thing. You never know who's watching you, and that's why you have to make sure that you always put it out there. And even if you have one viewer, put it out there. Yeah. Somebody will see it and they'll appreciate it.
Exactly.
You know, so I definitely agree with that. So now, right, I want to ask you, have you ever had like anyone that you mentored or anything like that, like maybe be discouraged by like investing, or they weren't too sure and then they had like a breakthrough by it? You know?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of people that are skeptical at first, and then they hop on a conversation with me, and they're kind of shocked at how like things are broken down. Because the thing with the stock market is the way it's taught by other people, it can be very confusing and overwhelming. So I try to break things down in a very digestible manner. And this person that I taught it to, they ended up making $200,000, and they still thank me to this day.
And you know what? Do you hear that? Like that is so amazing. Yeah. Like to have that, like that story, and to really be able to sit on a podcast and a panel and speak about that is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing.
No, definitely, yeah.
A beautiful thing. I love that for you, Carell. That's amazing. Thank you. So now, like, moving forward, like, you know, anything else you want to, like, tap into besides, you know, investing? I know you said you had the land. Like, anything else you're, like, planning on doing for 2025?
Yeah, so I'm actually launching a community with people that I've taught investing to. So we're going to be focusing more on different avenues of investing, you know, because there's within the stock market world, there's, like, options trading that's, like, faster money. There's dividend investing that's, like, slow money over time. So there's a lot of different avenues within the stock market, and I want to make sure all my clients are privy to that. So we're going to have online discussions, like Zoom calls every other week, and I have my board of members, and they're all specified in different avenues of investing in the stock market world. And we're gonna have live events too, and I actually want to have a master event probably sometime in the summertime, where it's free for kids, only the parents pay, and we're going to teach the kids stock market investing.
That is wonderful. I feel like this is something that should be taught in schools.
It should, but they're not going to ever teach it in school.
We need to
they
teach
can't, to
the
be
youth.
Honest. They can't.
Because it's like if we teach the youth, things will be so much different. And, you know, I'm not even saying like you have to put it in every school. Yeah. But at least schools that, you know, like you have to have like good grades. Okay, cool. We're going to teach you stock and, you know, how to manage your money, finances. Right. I think that's so important.
But they're never going to teach. They're never going to teach you stock market investing, real estate investing, credit. Because if you learn those things, are you ever really going to want to go get a job? So the government needs a system, and that system is for everybody to work for someone else to make the people at the top richer.
Right.
So if everybody knows how to invest and utilize credit, who's really going to, you know, work for these big corporations?
That's true.
So yes, we should teach it, but they're never going to teach it.
But they're never going to, yeah. And it's so sad to say it like that, because I really feel like me as a child, like, I'm grateful to have a mom that was in business. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to have a mom that knew about things like that. Right. You know, but imagine people who don't.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? And you have to teach yourself.
It's not easy. Even my mom, she didn't want me to invest in the stock market.
She did it?
She did
what
it.
Did she? Wait, you know, your mom is African, right?
Yeah,
I already
They always got a story of somebody that did something wrong and it didn't work out.
I already know. But you know what? See, okay, so I'm also Caribbean too. So I just, in my family, they're similar like that. Like my Caribbean side. Anything that you're doing that doesn't involve school. Or it doesn't involve something that's straight.
Or if it's not just saving your money.
It doesn't work. And this is why I say like just bet on yourself.
Yeah, you got to be. Sometimes you got to be a trailblazer. Maybe you're going to be the one that opens it up for everybody else.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that at this time in your life, like, but you know what? This is what my mom always told me. people want to see you do it.
Yeah, they want the results.
You can talk.
Talk sheep.
You can talk all you want. That's like you talking to your family. And I'm just speaking for me on my behalf because I used to be like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, you need to stop talking.
Yeah, just
because, like when you stop that finally and you actually do it, people would be like, okay, they did it. Like, I don't even have nothing to say. Because you could say it. You be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, oh, I already did it.
It's hard to have something to say when the person has produced the results.
Exactly. That's just my thing. So
sometimes the work is silent, but those results are loud.
They're loud. Yeah. And it's nothing wrong to just be loud in your own way.
Absolutely.
And especially within yourself. Like, what are some ways like you motivate yourself? Like, what caused you to start in 2017? What was that push and that drive? First of all, quick question.
Yeah.
Was there something you was doing before investing? Like when you started in 2017?
No, it was just strictly off of that high school class. Like I never really even cared about stocks before that. Like the fact of me just losing in that class, that's what pushed me far enough to want to learn it.
Did you have any like aspirations or goals to do anything else before then?
Nah, I always like felt like I'd be someone with a lot of money. I didn't know how, but I just knew.
But you just knew it.
I just knew it. Yeah, I always used to tell my mom I'm gonna drive this car, just like
power
this,
of the tongue.
Have chains, watches, all that. So
the mouth. My mom always say the tongue is a sword. You have to make sure everything you say is positive and it means something.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, when the time comes, it's gonna start to come in your life and reflect itself.
Absolutely.
And it's going, and then you have to make sure that what you're saying is just something that you really want.
Exactly.
So that's fire. That's fire. That's fire. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. So but like I said, what are ways you keep yourself motivated? Sorry, I went off topic.
That's cool. I don't really focus on motivation. Because I feel like motivation is like happiness, is like sadness. Those are like temporary feelings. It's not an end goal. So I think the most important thing is discipline. Because motivation can die out or burn out, but discipline, that's when you do something when you don't even feel like it.
Preach.
So if I see a new company, I'm going to dedicate an hour out of my day to do research on them, even if I don't feel like doing it.
Preach, man.
So discipline is going to get you places your motivation can't.
I really agree with you because... And I learned that through something that I went through personally, because you can be motivated, but when it comes to that discipline and that consistency, you're not gonna get where you want to be unless you stay focused and stay disciplined. I went through that. Do you know how many ideas I've had? And I was motivated, woke up ready to go, but you could say, okay, I want to do this one day, and if you don't stick to that,
it just fizzles out.
It's not going to work.
Even just for New Year's, the amount of people that probably made gym memberships, everybody's motivated. Let's check back in March, though. That's where you're going to find the people that are disciplined in the gym.
And you know what's crazy to me? This is a every year thing.
Yeah.
This is and it's nothing wrong with it. But I just believe, if half of us were to stay disciplined, I think things would be so much different.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you have to understand, though, sometimes it takes your mental. It's a mental thing.
Yeah, it's mental chess. For sure.
I had to learn it's really a mental. It's a mental challenge because I had to break myself. I had to break that chain. I had to break that yoke. That was hard.
Yeah, it's a constant battle, but all the best things in life require battle. So
see, I can't even talk about anything hard because I'm anything being hard or anything being a challenge. No, I can't even talk about that because it's when I'm talking to real winners, it's I can't.
Yeah, real winners don't acknowledge.
They don't acknowledge it. That's how I am too when I'm talking to other people as well.
That's why it's important to surround yourself with winners. So,
this is exactly
they're gonna make you uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. This is exactly what I mean because I don't usually speak about it, especially around the people that want advice from me. They think I'm so strong. They think, but I am, of course, absolutely,
absolutely.
But when I'm around winners and people who are really doing what they say they do and they're disciplined,
right?
You can't talk about that because they're gonna just disregard it. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It is.
That's
nothing,
how it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So, do you have any questions you want to ask me?
Oh yeah. So what's the game plan? Are you going to stay disciplined with the episodes this year, or motivated?
Okay, let me tell you. This year, I have a whole game plan.
Okay.
So I will. So you guys, I got some episodes coming. Don't worry, it's content, all of that. So this, I definitely want to take to a different level. It is going to be took to a different level, and
As it should.
consistency is my main, my main goal for the year.
Right.
I'm in school at the same time. I have businesses, you know, so I'm running multiple things, but nothing ever stops me.
Absolutely.
You know. I've been knocked down 10 and got up 50. So this time right now, it's going to be major discipline, major consistency.
I like that.
Blessings, and only from God.
Only from
Okay.
God.
So, yeah, so I have a lot of good things coming. New episodes, new content, like I said before. And I'm really excited about that, you know? And I do believe, like, I love my platform because, like I said, I was telling you, I like to learn while I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I learn, like, and it's like when it's different when you actually hear it on the screen and you hear it. But when you're sitting next to a person and they're telling you, like, how to do this and how to do that, it's just different when you get the, you know.
What made you want to start the platform?
Well, I really have a passion for business. And I know it sounds crazy, like having a passion for business, because, like, okay, what exactly in business? But everything business kind of fascinates me. And I had a question from a friend a few months ago, and they asked me, they were like, if you weren't getting paid and you had to do one thing in life, no pay, we're happy. We don't need any money. You're in the flyest car, whatever, your dream car, your dream house. What would you do?
Right.
And the two things I said is I'll give back and I'll help people. But I'm like, who am I helping? Because we're all happy. But I also said that I would still do business. Like, I would still like look into business, and, you know, like, that's just my passion.
Right.
Because even though money is not to be made, but you could still, you know, start a business and provide and give to people, like a nonprofit. So I would do a nonprofit, and but that was just what I said. So that's when I learned that's my passion. So then I'm like, why don't I turn it into something that I can spread amongst others and still help, you know, my community?
And that's good. I think it's important to help your community. And the time we're living in, people, especially the Black community, we need to continue to inspire other people.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's a big, big thing for me now, because, like, I want, like, right now, especially moving forward into, like, the Black community, like, I want us to really be, like, the best we could be. I want us to strive for greatness. And I do believe we have the potential. Do you see how many people are entrepreneurs in the Black community? It's such a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and I just love to see it. And I want to see more growth within our community. I want to see us be more united, and we are. We're getting there, and that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think it's a great start. I think, like, the world viewed Black people as just like entertainers or athletes. I think the shift is starting.
And this is the thing, because even if you look back into, like, okay, let's think maybe like 10 to 15 years ago, right? A lot of these celebrities that were, like, considered, like, within the Black community, they were A-list celebrities, so you couldn't get, you know, a hold of them. But you never really heard about, like, Black entrepreneurs that had, like, longevity success.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so I think it's nice to see people who actually have longevity success, and it's really dope. You know, and we're being more exposed now, especially within the social media community, because it's like now we're out there. Like, you can't hide us.
Everywhere now. Exactly.
You can't hide us, because we can put it out there for ourselves now.
Exactly.
You know, and then we have our community to kind of build each other up. So I think that's dope.
Yeah, we got platforms like this, Room Full of Bosses.
Oh, man.
Multiple episodes coming out, as you said.
Yes.
I'm going to hold you accountable to that.
You know, I really want you to know, like, this is going to be, like, a big, big, big season and a big year. And I know for a fact that, like, the amount of feedback I'm going to get for the things that I'm about to do is going to be grand. And I'm speaking that into existence. You know, so I'm just ready for the blessings and moving forward.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. But I'm really excited to have you today.
I'm honored you had me on the first episode of the season.
Yeah,
Great way to
this
kick it off.
this is gonna be amazing. Like an amazing show. And another thing too, I wanted to ask you, how can people find you?
Oh, Instagram at my_Jiggy. Same thing with Twitter.
Okay. All right. So we'll definitely tap into that, and make sure you guys follow him on Instagram. And yeah, nice
Tap
seeing
in
you,
if you want to learn how to invest
please
correctly.
And listen,
correctly.
I was about to say correctly. This is not. This is not.
This ain't no
the kid games.
Get rich quick scheme. This is
This
proper
is real.
investing. Yeah.
Because this day and age we live in, it's a lot of
frauds.
scam artists and
course gurus. We know about you. You only make money off of the course. You don't make money off of what you actually teach. We're aware of y'all.
Oh my God. I had to hide the face.
They're going to be mad about that one. It's okay.
No,
I love
it's
all
really,
the smoke.
And let me tell no, it's all good. Because before we go, I got to tap into that because, this is let's have a real conversation about that.
I'm down.
Because, it's really course gurus out here really playing people.
And they got, they drop the course. They'll drop a sale next week. I'm like, if it's going well, why do you need a sale on it so badly? Like, why do you promote the course more than what you teach in the course?
Exactly. And that kills me. And I'm a big believer in, free game.
Yeah, I think free game is important. That's probably the reason I've had a lot of clients, because I'll just post information regarding stock market investing, and just off the free game, people be like, yo, this guy's legit. I've had people make money just off of the stuff I just post on social media.
Really?
And they'll hit me up and be like, yo, I booked you because I made money off of your free game. So I'm like, imagine how much money I can make if I actually booked the conversation with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so free game, I think, is important. It's an underrated marketing strategy. You give someone some knowledge, it changes their thinking perspective and opens them up to something that you're teaching, and they might be more inclined to, at least pay attention to you. Because you want to retain the people from the content you're posting. So if you keep someone retained long enough, they'll purchase whatever your product or service is.
I actually like that and I do agree with you, because when you give people that, okay, now I feel like, okay, he gave me access.
Absolutely.
Okay, now this is something that I want to actually see, what's going on. Because if you were to just be, okay, buy my course first, and then I'll give you what do I look like?
If I was a course guru,
it's like a money grab.
Yeah, if I was a course guru, I wouldn't give free game. I'd charge you for everything. It's different over here.
You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Don't even, because you and
especially
Caleb.
Since you said you're going to be consistent. Woo, I
you
can't
and
wait.
Caleb with this, listen, I can't. But I will say, I really just want to see, all of us succeed.
Absolutely.
Especially, like I said earlier, within the Black community, we have to succeed. It's no other way. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what 2025 brings.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Room Full of Bosses, and I hope to see you on the next episode.